I wasn't sure how much I wasn't sure if I would get the same support as I would years ago if I reached out to people who support my work. But I tried it anyways. I was like, well, let me give Facebook a shot, even though I've barely been on there. So I set up a fundraiser on Facebook, and surprisingly, quite a few people came through, and that was amazing. I did it, in a night. Found a van, I think the same night or in the wee hours of the morning, and a van in Indiana, in the old city that I lived in for years while I was in high school, which was about maybe an hour and 30 minutes away from where we were living. Thankfully, we were able to find a friend at the time who was willing to take us to look at this van, and we were praying to every divine being out there and the angels of this owner, please let this van work. Please let him accept our offer. Because he was trying to sell the van for $900 or $950, and we literally had, kid you not, with the donations and a larger donation from a family member that I don't normally speak to, but they ended up coming through. Because of the contributions from these people, we literally had in our name, and this is it, $705. Oh yeah, we also started selling off some belongings to try and make some money. So all of that combined, $705, which was literally the exact amount of money it would have cost to pay rent, the late rent fee. So I kid you not. So I felt like the universe was like, do you want to give this another go and pay this property management your money and see how it'll turn out, or do you want to take a new path and buy this vehicle and see how that path turns out? And not even that, because remember, the van was being sold for $900 something. So we test the vehicle and we're like, oh my God, this works. And it's a place, it's something, right? And we figured, I was trying to let Ty know that if we found a van, then we could camp in it as we camped across the U.S. to get to California. So it was perfect. A Chevy Astro van, a cargo van at that, so we could literally deck it out the way we want in the back. So we approach the man and we tell him we want it, and then we're just super honest with him. We literally tell him our situation and we were hoping to God this man had a heart and that he would accept the offer. And he did. I could sit here and tell you every detail, but just to keep this video as concise as possible and not lose your interest, he did. We flat out told him our situation and where we wanted to go and how we needed to get there, and literally we had no other option. We couldn't find any other van at the time. And he kind of went back and forth with Ty for a little bit, but Ty was like, look, we literally only have $705. This is it, and I will also give you this coat off my back. Literally, this is it, man. Do you accept? And the guy took the offer. And so I was like, can I give you a hug? And he was like, laughed and said, no, that's okay, just pay it forward. So in various ways, I hope I've been paying it forward, with my work, with helping others, whenever we do have some money, giving it to people who need it. And like I said, my work, making videos for free and uploading stuff for free, and just in any way paying it forward. Okay. So, that's how we got our Chevy Astro van. And literally we got it on a Wednesday. And then by Friday, we had to be out of our apartment. Can you believe that? Whew, right? Whew, wow. So, yeah. Wow, me just telling you that, it's just reminding me of everything all over again. I was just like, wow, everything's aligning. Thank you so much. You guys are coming through. Thank you, guides, woo. So, yeah, So by February 22nd, we had to be out of our apartment, packed up everything in our van, and left our place. And we're officially homeless and living out of a van. And, we sold what we could. We had to dump some stuff. We had to leave some stuff at the dumpster. Sadly, I loved my writing chair and the chair I would sit in while I did some videos. It's the blue chair. You might have seen some videos with me in a blue comfy chair. And then, Ty's family friend, they let us store what we had left in their basement, but they didn't have room for us to actually live there. So we lived out of our van for a while and waiting. This was the other thing. We didn't have the funds to get across to California. So remember, I had this fundraiser up on Facebook, and I wasn't on Instagram like that anymore. And there were so many upgrades to Instagram, so I didn't know where to start. So I didn't think I was going to get any support there. So I made a YouTube video. I'll put the link up there. I put a YouTube video out for people, and just was constantly on Facebook trying to message people. And I messaged all sorts of people, and at the time I had 800, 900 Facebook friends. You know how that goes. But at the time I really felt and believed that a lot of these people cared about me. And this experience of going homeless taught me so much. This experience taught me that there were so many people that did not consider me their friends. I found out that people didn't care about me as much as I cared about them. I found out that people that I supported in many different ways over the years, from literally giving them my energy, my time, and my gifts, for free, because I cared about them and I care about my work. Even if I didn't talk to them every day, if someone came to me asking for help, I was there. If someone came to me with a problem of struggling with some kind of energy block or struggling with something in their life, I was there and would tune in and I would let them know what I was feeling and sensing, or if there was messages that needed to come forward, I delivered that. So what I'm trying to say is that I was there for people in different ways across social media, and knew their names. I knew things about their lives. I knew intimate things about their lives because they came to me. And I guess I did not have the boundary of, oh, this is a person who would be considered a client, I guess, versus a friend. So to me, I was they're all my friends. So when this situation happened and I went to these, tons of people wrote them, and even people who I didn't necessarily help in that way, but I thought we had a relationship. There were so many of them that either ignored my message or just said no. And like I said, ignored in various ways, read it and didn't reply, or just avoided the message, but I could see they were still staying active on Facebook, stuff like that. We all know how we get ghosted, right, in different ways. So that totally happened, man. Totally happened. But on the flip side, I had people that I barely spoke to, or someone I've never spoken to, someone I hadn't talked to in 3 years, that stepped forward to give a donation. And I don't care how big or small it was to anyone else's perception. To me, I was just wow. I was dumbfounded at the level of kindness from someone that I wouldn't expect versus the cold shoulder that we got from people we thought were there for us. So yeah, that's something I want to put out there, that, and if you're in a situation ever like that, which I hope you're not, but if you ever find yourself in a life altering situation, which it can happen to all of us. This is life. I don't care how spiritual you are. There's karma in various ways. There are life lessons that you carry over from past lives. There's karma that you're going to brush up against because of your partner. There's karma within your family. Like there's decisions you make every day that's going to have a repercussion, whether you don't realize it or not. So you're going to have some kind of life lesson. It's how we grow. And you'll see, life will show you, situations will show you what people are like, the people in your life, whether they are true, whether they are kind, or maybe just whatever they're going through at the time. But, it would help if the person at the time still communicates with you and lets you know they care about you, but they're just unable to help in any way. Sorry, I care about you so much, but I'm actually struggling too. I can't pay my bills. Or maybe you don't even have to give like a full explanation, but I care about you, but I actually don't have any money. But I am praying for you. I'm rooting for you. Anything like that. Some kind of communication. But in my situation, ghosted. All right. Do I have to sing it in opera? I was ghosted. And by family members too. You're going to see, like, life can show you that family too will think the worst about you. I had family members thinking that me and Ty were on drugs. And so that says a lot about my family, one, but a person, people, anybody, it doesn't have to be a family member, anybody who had some kind of image in their mind, when you go to them for help, that's on them. That's what they've created in their mind based off their own shit they have in their field, based off their experiences in life, and perhaps maybe judgments from the past about you, and also if they still have like unresolved stuff with you and haven't worked that out within themselves and with you, whatever. So yeah, we had so much judgment in different ways from various people that we cared about. So there was a lot of cord cutting going on. From, first of all, our situation, our living situation, having to say goodbye to that phase of life, cord cutting from his jobs, cord cutting from individuals, cutting the cords, energetic cords, connecting us to the property manager, people in that city who also screwed us over in different ways, cord cutting people who didn't come through. We realized, okay, Kali energy is coming in strong. We're really having a full, like, everything being turned over and shaken. And there's other videos that you can go back. Like, you can literally go back between 2017 through 2019, and you will see the stuff I've talked about. Like having to let go of people, the anger that surfaced, and the anger I had to work through, and the universe showing me I had to do this shadow work around a lot of stuff. Yeah. And then while living in the van, so this is something else, I knew that I wanted to do a video on this experience, and if I don't go in depth in this one, I should make another video, because also I know that there are so many people that did support us and expected us to be out there in California. And right when we started living in the van, I think like a few days later or a week later, Mercury went retrograde. And if you know anything about Mercury retrograde, it's not as okay to do travel. It's, everything kind of gets topsy-turvy during Mercury retrograde, like travel, communication, thinking. I said communication already, right? So like the mental plane, like your mental faculties, but also having to reflect on the past about things, people from your past coming up for things for resolution, or you needing to cut cords on things or resolve things, but also travel. And so lo and behold, it affected us. You know, we started to raise money. Oh, we had an amazing donation from someone. Touched my heart so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, Belen. You know, her and her husband donated a large sum to us. And right after they did that, mind you, we're living in this van, okay, with our fur baby Wolfie. And I'm sorry, I have to make a correction, because in the beginning of the video, wow, in the beginning of the video, I said me, Ty, and Wolfgang. I'm forgetting that our 2 cats were with us, which I'm sorry, I forgot about them. It's just that they're no longer with us. So that's another thing. We took on taking care of 2 cats that weren't originally our own. They were abandoned by some people that I will not mention. I will definitely avoid that drama. So these 2 cats were abandoned, and we didn't have the heart to abandon them. And at the time, we also didn't know of resources. And Ty didn't want to let go of them. And bless his heart. So we really tried. We took care of them from 2017 until they ran away in 2019. So we're all in the van. 2 cats, 1 dog, me and Ty. And one of the cats, Nava, he kept escaping the van when we would go visit a friend. We'd park at his family home and go in for a little bit. And Nava was not fixed, so he was just going apeshit. He could smell female cats, and he kept getting out to go, get his groove on. And by doing that, though, he got an injury. He kept scratching his ear. He had ear mites, and it got so bad that he was scratching his ear so bad that the cartilage in the back of his ear was exposed. Literally, if you bent his ear forward, you could see pure flesh and cartilage behind it. I was horrified. So we had to use the money that we received to go out west, which would have covered it all. It would have covered our travel expense and food. It would have covered the gas and food to get there. We had a tent. We had the van. We could have parked, rested, and kept going. Boom, boom, boom the whole way. And we had to use it on his surgery, medicine, and since he was already going to be under anesthesia, they suggested we go ahead and just get him fixed at the same time. Just get it all done, because if not, we would have to take him back in and pay for anesthesia again. So we had the 2 procedures done, and it was so costly. So costly. I just want to say that it pretty much took all the money that was donated. Yeah. So that happened. We were not happy about it, but we kept our fundraiser out, and we kept praying. But I admit that we struggled hard. We were doing a lot of shadow work. Stuff was happening, and there were days that we felt adventurous and felt like rock stars, and I felt creative, and I started blogging about it. And yikes, I still have, I really do want to get some of these writings up, because I still journaled about it, but I didn't always have internet. Hello, I was homeless, didn't have, money to pay for cell bills, so I was posting things when at, a place with Wi-Fi, or when we would visit Ty's friend. So, like I said, there were days when we handled it like rock stars. We were creative as fuck, we used bungee cords and rope and a hammock and just all kinds of things that, before we even got evicted, before we even got the offer to go out west, I had been doing research for years, and then what I thought was out of curiosity, but I feel like was the universe prepping me, I started looking at van life. That's how I had the idea to get a van when we went homeless. So, yeah, I was taking ideas from all these like blog posts and videos I was finding on van life. And we were doing all kinds of cool stuff and making sure we kept the van clean inside and stuff like that. And so there were days where to me, it was cool. You know, I'm sure that Ty will have a different story. And I think there are ways I am more adventurous than him, and I know that he found the experience way more terrifying. But there were days when I was terrified.